All right, welcome back, everybody, for Realms of Far Off, session 3. Nothing big to start off the session with. Who wants to do our recap for what happened last week? You get a +2 to any roll you want tonight. Any roll, period.
All right. So last week, um, if I'm remembering correctly, we dealt with the aftermath of the attack on the boat, where we saved the entire crew except for one poor fellow, uh, whom the one of the boat masters decided to just throw off into the river, which we had a problem with. So we negotiated to take their body with us to Badger Keep, was it?
Yep.
Um, where we ended up finding getting their body buried in the church of, I don't remember the name of the paragon. One of the paragons.
What paragons? Go back to my note here real
Oldman?
fast. Yeah, it was
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Um, but also on the way, we saw a fisherman who had told us that there was a little girl that had gone missing in a town in the woods.
Dunbury.
Dunbury, that's right. So we got to Badger's Keep. We spoke with the local adventuring league. They didn't know about Dunbury, but they kind of let us go and handle that on our own should we wish. We tracked down a fellow who was an adventurer himself, an alumni of the academy, and a bit of a woodsman who we got to lead us through the forest and down to Dunbury to try and figure out what's going on. I remember that there were spiders.
Yeah, so you all hired Gourmand to lead you all to Dunbury since he had told you that he had been by there before. Along the way, during your night watch, you were attacked by spiders who saw some potentially easy prey that turned out not to be so easy, as attested by the spider corpses that are now littering your camp in the dead of night, which is where we're going to pick up. Like I said, dead of night, it was into the second watch. Imnos, I think you just got picked back up and stabilized.
Healed a little more than that, but
Yeah, healed a little bit more than that. Um, but what would you all like to do now at this stage?
Fucking spiders.
that was hideous.
Where's the hunter guy?
He's climbing down from his tree. He's surveying the corpses as he moves over. He's like, "Are you all okay? Did anyone get irrevocably injured?
Don't appear to be.
And nothing we couldn't fix.
Any debilitating, lingering poison?"
No.
Not that I can tell.
Good. Uh, this is a common occurrence in the Black Forest if you aren't trained to look for certain things and hide in certain places to avoid detection. The deeper you go, the more you're going to run across the webbing that seems to alert the different holds of spiders that surround the entire forest. Until in the deepest parts, I've been told it's nothing but webbing. The trees disappear in the webs.
Well, that sounds terrifying.
I've never gone that deep myself, but I took the man at his word.
I have no particular desire to see it for myself.
I agree with that personally. Um, are any of you trained in dealing with the corpses or have any desires for them?
Spider
Um,
corpses.
The poison is quite effective, and if you know how to extract the silks, they can sometimes fetch a pretty penny from a traveling merchant or two. They're good for
Absolutely.
enchantments, the hold has told me.
I don't work with poisons, so I'm gonna go feed my dog, go back to bed.
Afraid I wouldn't be
Yeah.
much help either.
Not my purview. I'm better with living animals than dead ones.
All right. So Gourmand actually starts grabbing the corpses and pulling them out of the camp. He drags them off in the woods, then comes back maybe a minute later, grabs another and drags it off. And when he gets to the last one, he lets the last watchman know that he's going to be away for a couple hours. Basically harvesting what he can from them. But he'll return back to the camp once he's done.
Do you need another set of eyes watching at your back, or?
I wouldn't turn down an extra watchman where I'm going to be. I'm only about 50 yards or so off the camp, but I don't want to steal rest from anyone who needs it.
How much of this watch shift is left?
Probably about an hour.
Alara, do you want to watch camp and I'll keep an eye on our friend?
Yeah, I can do that.
All right, so Imnos, you travel off a short distance with Garmon as he leads you to the area where he's dragged the corpses to. And he reaches into his backpack and he pulls out this bundle of fabric and he unrolls it. And you see that there's a series of tools that he has there. Looks like some butchering tools, looks like some things that a skilled huntsman who's been traveling, harvesting various types of creatures would have on him, because some of these you don't even recognize. You're not even sure what they would be for.
Sure.
And then he also pulls out a couple of glass bottles. And he starts getting to work. He starts cutting in to the spiders. First, he starts milking them for any venom that he can get out of them before moving to the biggest one, and he starts extracting silk from it.
I'll watch with fascination, but try to mostly keep my eyes out for peripheral stuff and actually do my job.
Are you trained in any sort of woodcraft, Hymnos?
Only in the most basic sense. I understand a little bit about the natural world, but just enough to tell what an animal is and what doesn't look right as an animal.
That's fair. Do you typically allow, I believe her name is Fee, to handle your all's more natural conundrums?
She's certainly far more attuned than I am.
That's fair. Not many people place much value in some of the things that you can extract from creatures. There's a whole economy, as it were, when it comes to these things. Not just furs and other things, but like I said, the silks fetch a good price. Or if you have someone in your party who's skilled in enchanting, I've been told that they can hold a good enchantment or two.
The world is a vast place containing quite a number of wonders, I expect. No surprise that many of them exist in the forests and streams of it.
It's probably easier to hide, I would imagine, than the plains or the dunes of Kali. I've never really traveled very far from this area myself.
I come from Vim myself.
From where?
Vim.
That's northwest.
It is.
I don't think I've ever
somewhat
traveled up the
different,
autumn
but
lands. Is it nice?
it's home. There is always something unique about one's home.
Oh, the Imperium is a vast kaleidoscope of different places, rulers, needs, wants, desires.
It's true. Perhaps in time I'll see more of them. Get a more complete picture, you know?
Well, if your party can stay together and stay alive, there's a lot of places to go, I would imagine.
That's certainly the hope. I'd say we're off to a decent enough start.
You're alive. That's the best start that you can start with.
I agree.
He's going to keep working over the course of the next couple hours. Watch will shift. Once he's done, you two will head back to camp, and he'll climb back up in his tree to get a little bit more shut-eye before dawn breaks. But dawn comes easily enough after the evening, and you all awake and hit the trail once more to Dunbury. For the most part, you all don't encounter anything odd or ambushing or attacking you. He points out various creatures as you guys walk along, mostly birds. He points out some signs of passing larger creatures. Like he mentions a place where he thinks that a bear has passed recently. So he tells you all to keep quiet in this particular section before you all move on. But mostly it's uneventful for the rest of the travel. So you all manage to get yourselves into the outskirts of Dunbury. Walking into the area that hosts this forest village, very clear to you that it has not been here very long. You can see where they've clear cut several areas so they can build essentially shacks and some more professionally made buildings. But probably there's only a host of 7 buildings in this area that Gourmand points out to you is the town itself. You see a couple people walking around on trails that have been cleared through the sections to each of these buildings as you all come essentially to the boundary of the town.
Hmm.
Can I have done one thing before we set out?
Sure.
I needed to do the sorcerer thing to, restock my spells, basically.
Okay.
And then I was also going to meditate on how Akko is pretty sure that this town is like something shady. So he's going to meditate on shady things, and I'm going to pick up the smite quickening.
Okay. Not a problem. All right, you all are at the edge of Dunbury. What would you like to do? Gourmand takes a step back to let you all take the lead at this stage.
I am going to proceed into Dunbury.
Okay. So you all follow behind Alara, leading you into the town. As you all come into more visual sight for the inhabitants of the town, you see a few people look at you, turn, and walk away from you very quickly. One woman sees you and then steps right back into her house and closes the door with a snap.
That's odd.
Yeah, that's not suspicious at all.
Okay.
As you get, a little bit deeper into this, again, admittedly very small town, you can quickly tell how the buildings have been arranged in sort of a circular fashion around 2 professionally made buildings. One of them is very clearly a blacksmith's workshop. You can see an anvil and a forge set into the outside with a sort of like a lean-to covering the top of it with a more home set to the side of it. And then the other one looks like a more traditional longhouse style building that you may imagine would be for probably someone who's a little bit higher in the social hierarchy of the town. As you guys approach, the door to that longhouse swings open, and a man steps outside. Very frail looking man. He's wearing thin clothes, a cut vest over a long shirt, sort of a receding hairline pulling back up into his scalp, as he quickly steps down the steps and starts approaching you all, coming to a stop about 5 steps away.
Is he wearing any sigils or anything?
Make a perception check for me.
While he's doing that, Wade,
Yep.
I'm gonna activate detect magic and just take my time looking in all directions.
What's the range on that?
I think it's a 30-foot cone.
30-foot cone? Okay.
I think it's 60.
You might be right.
We're the common women. So Akko, no, you don't see any clear sigils on display. Certainly nothing that may be obscured in anything that he's wearing. Kip, you don't detect any magic at all. You're within line of, obviously, this man. He's close enough to be fully encompassed in that cone. You got a couple buildings there nearby you. You don't see anything inside of them glowing through the woodwork. And you're sure the walls of these buildings aren't thick enough to cloak any magic from you if you tried to peer inside.
Oh, that's more comfortable than not, so I'll take it.
Who are you? What? Takes a step, like a half step back, as no one says anything.
Sorry. Wait to activate detect evil.
You activate detect evil.
Yes.
Okay. Sure. So you, as he's taking a small step back, you feel that divine sense roll into the back of your eyes. He does not glow with any evil intent. And as you swing your vision around, you're not catching anything in your immediate sense that has any evil intention either.
All right, great. Thank you. Hello, I say to the man. We are travelers. We passed by here a few days ago, going up to Badger Keep, and we met with a fisherman. Well, we passed a fisherman who was on the docks near here saying that y'all are having some issues with children disappearing, going missing, and we wanted to help.
Oh, that would have been Jasper, I think. Old man, little stocky, fishing pole.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been Jasper. Well, we haven't had children going missing. Just one child,
Oh, okay.
Claire. She disappeared 2 or 3 days ago now. Her father's been sick with worry, and we've looked where we can, but we haven't found her. We all know there's a lot of dangers here.
Well, I'm sorry. I got ahead of myself. My name is Alara Avalair. I am with the Adventuring Academy.
Oh.
These are my classmates. We were going up to Fort Fowen to investigate some stuff happening there, but when we heard about this, we couldn't just let it happen. We couldn't just ignore it. It sounded like you guys need some help. We're here to help.
I never thought I'd see real adventurers in a little village like Dunbury.
Anyone who needs assistance should be allowed assistance.
I'm certainly not going to turn down anything. My name is Uktor. I'm the speaker for the village.
Hello.
Yeah. How do I do this?
What kind of position is speaker?
So I basically am helping the town get built. Several of us came from the Twin Lakes. We had businesses that went under in a recession. Some of us weren't happy with the way that the Golden Lords were handling things in the land, and we wanted to try and build a new home. So we came out here, and I'm really good at sort of math, and so they told me that I should figure out how to put the town together.
That's
And
good.
I know all my letters too, so that helps.
Speaker, my name is Imnos. Pleasure to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Do the residents of this village look to you for counsel?
When it comes to like organization, yes, but if you're talking like advice in their life, then no. That would be Granny Tuka.
Perhaps that is someone we should meet with as well.
Sure, I can take you to see Granny. She doesn't live in the village proper. She has a lot of weird smells coming from her house, and so people didn't want to live too close to it.
I think perhaps when there's time, the residents seem to be a bit unnerved by our presence.
Well, we don't get many visitors.
If you could let them know that we are here to help and not cause harm, perhaps that would aid us in determining what's happened.
Oh, sure. He turns and he's like, "Hey, everyone, come out! It's okay."
We may be strangers, but we're not that strange.
You start hearing doors open up as some of the residents of the town start coming out of their houses. Mainly families. They start pouring out into this sort of courtyard area that you guys are in now, which is just the center of their small village. Who are they? What are they here to do? That one's really big and shiny. I wonder where she got that armor. Ooh, that one has scales? I wonder if he's a lizard folk. And they just start murmuring to themselves as the speaker looks around them all. Okay, what can we do? What can we tell you?
Where was the last place the girl was seen?
That would be in the forest. Granny Tuka saw her there.
We're going to need to speak with this granny before we're going to get much further.
Okay.
If the last person to see her was in the forest, we need to speak to the last person who saw her.
Okay. Her father, I think, is still out there, but the light's starting to get pretty low. He'll probably be coming in soon. He's our blacksmith here in town, and he hasn't been doing anything or working on anything since Claire went missing.
Understandably.
It's kind of brought a complete halt to the town in a lot of ways. So we've all sort of been trying to pitch in the best we can.
We'll also need to discuss compensation, but that's probably something we need to speak about with the father.
Yeah, compensation. Okay. Yeah, okay. Do you want to talk to him first, or do you want me to take you to Granny Tuka?
Let's go to Granny Tuka, and if you could broach the subject with the father, if you see him first, it would be appreciated.
Okay.
But it would not be approved of for us to do work and risk our lives for free.
Your adventures. I know that you make lots and lots of gold. We're not a wealthy village, but maybe we have some things we could trade.
We're students. We'll accept trade. Trade
you're
is still not working
students?
for free.
Oh, so you're from
We're from the academy.
school. Okay. I don't know much about how all that works, but okay. I can take you to Granny Tuka's place. It's not really that far outside of town. We just need to put some space between us.
That would be fantastic. Thank you.
Absolutely. And he starts like shooing the people out of the way. It's like, yeah, go, move over, go away. And he starts leading you all northward through the woods. It's not that far away. It's probably about 100 yards outside of this circle of buildings. This is more of a hovel than a house. It's a thatch roof that comes all the way down to the ground. Looks like it does shotgun back a little bit to give some more depth to the building. That looks like it can't be any more than 6 or 7 feet wide at the front of it. There is a small pen outside of the house where you see 3 pigs. And you do see a fire that's going with a cauldron over top of it.
Does it look like the kind of place that would be in a storybook for children that would be like a witch's hovel where she eats children?
Yeah, that thing.
Does it look like that?
If you made the building out of candy, then sure.
The building doesn't have chicken legs.
If you took it from a true nightmare story, maybe passing resemblance. You know, it's just you have been told that she is a witch, and
It's true.
And now you're at the witch's house. You could draw a lot of inferences from that.
Wade still hasn't answered my question.
I'm sorry, what was it?
Does the house have chicken legs?
Not that you see currently.
No. No.
Not that you perceive.
Detect evil.
Detect evil, ding.
Second I see a bathtub with chicken legs, I'm gone.
You don't perceive any evil.
Great, thank you.
Detect magic as well.
Detect magic, you do detect something magical inside of the house.
This is clearly a bog witch. Of course there's magic.
I'll give Fee a glance and Ilara and just kind of do the side-to-side hand motion towards and nod towards the house.
Oh, and the cauldron has magic.
And then look at the cauldron.
I mean,
okay.
Actually, I'm
it
gonna
could be one of my kind.
I'm gonna
This is where
focus
Granny
on the
Tuka lives.
I'm gonna focus on the cauldron long enough to get the greater answers out of detect magic.
Conjuration.
I'm gonna go up and knock on the door.
Yeah, I'm gonna go knock on the door. We're being really weirdos.
All right, so you guys walk up to the front door. You give it a couple thwacks on the frame, and inside you hear a voice come. Oh, hold on, just a moment. And then after a few moments, the door is pushed aside, and you see an older woman standing there. She's slightly hunched forward. She has white hair that's tied up in a bun at the top of her head. She's leaning on a crutch hooked into her armpit. As she's just leaning forward on the crutch, looking at you, oh, who are you?
Greetings, Granny Tuka. My name is Alara Avalare, and these are my fellow adventurer prospects.
Oh, adventurers. Well, welcome, dearest, to my home.
We are from the academy. We haven't fully graduated. However, we are here to look into the missing girl, Claire, in the village.
Oh, I didn't know adventurers would spare any time to come to a broke-down place like Dunbury. But it's good to have you here.
Well, we passed old Jasper on the river, and he asked us for help, so...
Oh, that old Jasper, he's always out there looking for bass and other things to bring into town. He's good folk.
We were wondering if you might tell us a bit about where you saw Claire last.
Oh, sure. Come in.
Thank
I
you.
walk in.
She steps back and lets you all come in. It is a tight fit in here, folks. This place only goes back probably about 15 feet. It's about 7 foot wide. She's got several tables that are just littered with basically what looks like refuse in a lot of ways. Herbs are drying, hanging from the ceiling at various places. As she brings you, he's like, "Are you all hungry? Do you all need anything to eat?"
Is this me when I grow up?
Does she look like she used to sell hats?
You're not perceiving a haberdasher in her.
Excuse me, Granny.
Oh yeah, dear.
Do you happen to be related to someone named by the surname Quarters?
Porters.
Oh no.
No, I don't think I've ever heard that name before.
You have a very similar way of speaking. It feels very home-like. I apologize.
Oh,
I'm
well,
sure
I
it's
know
a
I don't have
dialect.
pointed ears, but I'm from the Autumnlands.
Is
That's
that so?
Yeah. So, are you all hungry? I can make you some food. I can whip up a pheasant maybe, or I think I can do some frog legs and rice.
I
most
wouldn't want to
kind of
impose.
you, but
A potato.
I have no interest in putting you out. However, I wouldn't mind a cup of tea.
Oh, tea! I can do tea. And she starts moving around inside, getting stuff put together for you all. So what can I? And she's what can I help you all with? What do you need to know to find poor Claire?
Can you tell us what you remember from the last time you saw her?
Oh well, that was a couple days ago now. But Claire was going off to pick some blueberries out in the forest.
do you
Can you give
know?
us
You know,
an idea of where in the forest? You
To
would
the
be
east.
heading?
She came up here first to tell me what she was going to do. Whenever people are going to go off in the woods alone, they have to come by and talk to me about it so I can tell them if there's anything to look out for.
Are you a practitioner, Granny?
I practice a lot of things, Sonny. What in particular do you think I'm practicing? An old
Magic.
witch like me has a lot of tricks.
Would the witch aside, I noticed you have a couple magic items in the camp, and I wondered if you yourself are a magician.
Oh no, I brew things. I'm a brewer. I can make salves and the occasional potion if I can find the right ingredients to make it all work together.
Was there anything that you had to warn Claire about in the forest when she was leaving?
Well, I warned them all about the spiders. Can't be in the Black Forest without spiders. And then, of course, the Kurdoka. I mean, that thing will eat your whole body up.
What?
I'm sorry, the
What is
what?
that?
a Kurdoka?
The Kurdoka.
can you
Relevant
tell
knowledge?
us more?
Knowledge local. Got a 12. We got an 11. I think those are the only two locals in the group. Unfortunately, neither one of you have ever heard the term Kurdoka before. It's not a. It's just not a term that you've ever come across for a creature or an animal, mythological or folk at all.
Can you tell us
Taco
more
leans
about
in
this
very closely.
Kurdoka?
What he said.
Oh, sure, the Kurdoka? So the Kurdoka, when we got here, the Kurdoka was living up to the west of us. Kurdoka is a big, giant cat monster with a head bigger than its body, and it'll gobble children up and eat them.
Sounds quite
Well,
unpleasant.
and men, too. It's really big.
Nope.
I put out my potions and my salves around the town to ward off bad things from coming in here and hurting the people. Kurdokas don't like strong smells, you know.
Did Claire take any of these with her to protect herself from this creature?
Oh yeah, I gave her a bushel to take with her. Blackberry fields are a little bit away. I mean, I told her father he shouldn't be letting her go out there alone. I mean, there's a lot of other things besides the Kurdoka out there that can hurt somebody, especially a little girl like Claire. But he's busy, well, I mean, he was busy. Now he ain't busy because he's always in the wood trying to find her.
I think we'll probably speak with him as soon as he gets back to town.
Well, I'm sure he'll be soon. He don't have none of them night eyes, so I'm sure he'll be back before it gets too dark. Otherwise, he's not coming back tonight.
Are there any other children in town that Claire's friends with that she might have told about her plans or gone out into the woods with?
Well, I mean, there's a few children in town. There's Lily, and there's Gunther. Those are probably the two that she plays around with the most. But people didn't come out here with too many children. We're starting a rough life in a frontier wilderness, so people with younger children didn't think it'd be too safe. Not that I blame them.
You're not wrong.
But we all wanted to start a new life out here, and I wanted to make sure I could help them.
Why did you pick here?
Well, I didn't choose here. We just kept traveling until we found a place that we thought looked good and felt right.
Okay.
This place isn't really claimed by anybody. There's no Lord of the Black Forest. So we didn't have to worry about anyone coming in saying property rights and such.
Hmm.
If there are any plants out in the forest that we come across while we're looking for this girl tomorrow, is there anything that your stores are running low on that you would like us to bring back for you?
Oh,
We might be able to trade some brewing for some of our harvesting.
Sure. If you find any blue flowers that have little droplets of blue liquid that roll right off of them in the morning light.
Blue flowers with blue liquid. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And she hands out teacups to all of you, just wooden cups, as she fills them up with tea. That's a special blend of mine. I don't think there's a proper name for it, but I make it up myself.
Many thanks, Granny Tuka, and I sip the tea.
How's it taste?
So as folks go to lift up their teacups, liquid spills out of the bottom of every single teacup into your lap. And as you look at the cup, there's a small little hole at the bottom of each of your teacups. Oh dear, what happened?
Sense motive, did she just prank us?
Roll it. She seems genuine in her surprise. I'm so sorry. I didn't. What is wrong with my cups? She picks up her own cup, and liquid spills out of the bottom of it. She's
Johnny,
like,
what's that for?
Kip pretends to drink and waits to see if anything terrible happens to the other party members.
well, no one actually got to drink any of the tea, so.
Oh, it all came out?
Yeah, it all spilled right out the bottom of the cup.
Oh, I thought it
I'll,
was a slow leak.
No, it was
I'll,
a sizable little hole.
Oh dear. And so like I moved to try to like not have hot liquid sitting on my lap. But also I look at my cup and try to figure out what's going on with the hole. Does it look like it was made? Does it look like it was worn through? Does it look like something could have eaten through the wood?
How big is the hole?
It's probably about the size of a number 2 pencil.
I
Okay.
cast mending.
Yeah, you cast mending, and the little hole covers back over with wood, repairing itself.
Do you have any more tea, Granny Tuka?
Oh, I'd have to make a whole new batch of water and heat it all up. Katie, can I get perception?
Yeah, sure. And once again, that's like spot or
Yeah,
move.
yeah.
Okay.
It's the combination. 10. You're not quite sure what would have made this, but you're sure it's not a natural wearing. It's too perfect of a hole.
Okay.
I'll take my scarf and start like dabbing up tea off of my lap and off of Granny's to make sure she doesn't stay soaked.
She comes around with like a little towel. She's like, "I'm so sorry." She starts like trying to clean up the mess.
Granny
I don't know
Tuka,
what happened.
has anyone been here recently besides us?
Well, I mean, the speaker came by when Claire went missing, as did her pop. I mean, a couple people come in and out. I help some of the folks with some illnesses that they've had for a while now. The aches and pains Jasper has, I give him a salve every morning to help with his arthritis.
Okay. On my lap, if there's any like loose tea, or actually, I take the cup. There should be some still
Yeah.
like loose drudges in the cup, even if it's spilled. I take my pinky and I swipe through and I taste it.
Tastes nice. It's a little sweet with a back hint of bitter.
Hmm.
Where does she store her teacups?
You saw her pull from a little cupboard that she has next to the fireplace.
Go look in the cupboard, see if there's anything in there.
I mean, she has a couple plates in there, but she pulled out
No.
all of her cups for everybody.
And her cup also had a hole in it, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Granny,
But they,
the next time that you make yourself tea or anything, maybe you should use this cup. And I hand her the one that I was using. I fixed it for you.
Oh, you're just a blessing, dear. Thank you so much. And she
You're
takes
welcome.
it back.
were they stacked inside of each other, Wade?
You weren't able to really see when she pulled them out. Is there anything I can tell you? It's starting to get real dark. I bet Tomas is back by now.
Should probably go speak with him.
We should.
Well, if you need anything else from Granny, you come back here and I'll help you out the best I can.
Thank you so much for your hospitality, Granny.
You're much obliged.
We will do what we can to find this girl.
All right, so you guys stroll out of the little hut, and Speaker Uktor's gone at this point. He got you all here, and he took off once you got inside with Granny. There definitely wouldn't have been enough room for him to also walk inside of there. It
If I were
is
to take a guess at who would drill holes in the old lady's cups, it'd probably be the local children.
Hey, Wonder, do me a favor and verbalize things, because I in the chat's not really a good place because I don't really look at that.
I'm just doing emotes in there because I don't want to talk over anybody.
It is starting to get late at this point. You're starting to see the last little vestiges of light coming in through the canopy, but there's still just enough for you all to make your way back into the village. And you do see that there is a light on inside the blacksmith's shop.
Let's go ask him about his missing kid.
Sounds like a great idea.
Okay.
I suggest we
guys-
be gentle if we can, however. I imagine he's a bit beside himself.
Of course.
I assume you guys are rolling up to the front door.
Yeah.
So given a couple knocks on the front door, there's some movement on the inside before the door swings open. Dwarven man opens the door up. Big, corded, muscled arms. His beard is short cut though, probably just a little bit longer than my own. As he gives you all an eye, like, you all the adventurers that came into town.
Yes.
Uktor
Yeah.
told me about you. Come in.
All right.
He,
Walk in.
Walks you guys in.
Oh.
It's much larger than Granny's home was. There's obviously display set up with some of the stuff that he's been working on. Lots of shelves and stuff in here, and a couple of beds pressed off to the far right side of the house. Brings you all in. So you guys are gonna find my girl.
That's the hope, or at least we can try to help.
I've been scouring the woods looking for her. I went out to the blackberry patch. I ran it up and down.
I thought she went out for blueberries.
Blueberries, blackberries, all in the same area.
I
The
understand.
berries.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure that we have all the information.
Listen, I'm not gifted in berries. I'm gifted in metal, and I know she was out by the berries doing picking, and now she's not there, and I don't know what to do. Now, Uktor told me you all want gold and such for your services. I'm not a wealthy man by any stretch of anyone's imagination. I can hammer metal and make nails. I can make a blade or two. But that's the best I can offer you. But I would be in your eternal debt and service if you found my daughter.
We'll work for trade. Gold isn't necessary.
Certain we can find something fair, but
Yes.
yes, our first concern is actually returning your daughter safely.
All right, what do you need to know from me?
Granny Chookus mentioned a monster, the Kurdoka. Do you know anything about it?
She's always going on Kurdoka this, Kurdoka that. You gotta carry the bundle when you go in the forest. Some giant cat. I ain't scared of no fucking cat. I got a blade. I'll stick it the same way I would stick a pig, stick a goblin, stick a spider. I don't care what it is.
Certainly. Why don't you start at the beginning and simply walk us through anything that might help us to follow where your daughter would have gone?
Well, 2 days ago, it was like any other day, really. She was going to go pick berries. We were running low. I was working at the forge on a nail order, and she didn't come home. And then I went out there, and she wasn't there. Uktor came with me, as did a couple others, the boys, and we've been looking all over the area out there, but we didn't see her. Didn't see any sign of her.
So nothing she dropped or might have left behind.
I mean, I don't think there's a good skilled woodsman of any of these people in here. I'm not sure why they wanted to set up shop here in this town when they don't know much about the woods and stuff like that. But I didn't see anything. I didn't see her basket that she took with her.
How old is she?
7. Strong girl. If anyone can survive out in them woods, it's my girl Claire. So I know she's alive out there.
This might be a silly question, but she's a dwarf, right?
Yeah, she's a dwarf.
Okay, just making sure.
Like me and her mom.
What do you think, Fee? What's the best way for us to proceed?
I mean, was there anybody that she usually used to go berry picking with?
Claire's always been an adventurous soul. I mean, she don't rely on nobody too much, except for me when I'm her father though. I mean, she plays with the children here in town, but she's a little different. Obviously, we're the only dwarves here in town. But they aren't unfriendly or unkind to her anyway.
But no one that she would have, gone out.
I mean, her and Granny have
with.
gone out there a few times, I guess. That's how she knows about the patch.
Yeah. So I think the best we can do is probably catch some sleep and go back and talk to Granny and see how far west we have to go to get to this berry patch. Unless you happen to know how far away the berry patch is.
I mean, I do, but it's dark out there.
No,
but if you all want to go out there at night, we'll go out there at night.
Can't track at night.
All right,
I would say
you can stay here. I mean, we don't have no fancy inns or anything like that. But you can stay here and sleep on my floor. I got a few extra blankets I can give to you.
Allow me
Anything's better than
to.
a campsite full of spiders.
True that. I suggest before we sleep tonight, we talk to the other local children, see if they might have anything else they can think of, and then set out immediately at daybreak in the morning to try and find out what we can from the location itself.
All right.
What do you all think?
I think that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Lily was her best friend. They played together more than anybody else I saw her playing with.
Can you show us to her house?
Sure. And he walks to the back door, and opens it up and walks through.
I have a suggestion, Kip and Alara and others. Children, in my experience, have secrets that they like to keep from the adults in their lives. If you can get them to share a bit more, they might have information about, I don't know, secret places they went into forests or games they played, anything that might help us determine where she might have gone if there was trouble.
I'm not good with kids.
How about you, Kip?
I can do my best.
I have nothing wrong with kids. It's just I never spent time with kids. Just not great with them. Sorry.
That's reasonable.
Tomas takes
It
a
might
step back
also
in. Hey, are
react
you all
differently
coming
to
or
you,
not?
Yeah.
So he leads you all out of his shop and right across the pathway to another house. He walks up to it and slams his fist on the door, creating this loud bang, obviously going way too hard than he needs to go with it. Before the door opens up and a woman answers the door. Tomas? The adventurers. Oh, how can I help you? Are you here to find Claire?
That's the hope, yes.
Yes.
My Lily's been beside herself about the whole thing. She's been crying for 2 days straight.
We were actually wondering if we might speak with her.
With Lily?
Yes.
I suppose she doesn't know anything about what happened with Claire, though. She wasn't with her that day.
I understand, but at this point, anything we can learn might help.
Lily, come over here. Stepping from the other side of the doorway, a little girl, can't be more than 8 years old, with long blonde hair, braided up in pigtails coming over her shoulders, looks up at you all. Hello. You have really, really shiny armor, man. She looks at Alara. I ain't ever seen anything that shiny before.
Elbow Alara slightly. This is where you say hello.
Hello. Sorry.
Are you gonna find Lily?
Yeah, we're the baby worms, and we're gonna look for her.
Yes.
The
Baby
baby worms.
I just stare at her. I just
You don't
What
look
is-
like worms. Worms are gross. You all are really nice.
No, we're not like fishing worms. We're like little dragons.
What does that have to do with worms?
we're not dragons.
I just look at her. We are.
No,
We're
You're
gonna
a
grow
dragon?
up to
no,
be
we're
dragons.
not.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Wow. But
No.
you're too small to be a dragon.
They're little dragons.
My papa
Not-
told me dragons are really big.
They're
They
not
blow
all
up
big.
castles.
They do that. That's true. Wait, I sent you a private message.
Thank you.
I hate my life.
Okay,
Okay.
I want to produce that with a flourish, and ask her if she's seen one of these.
So you watch Akko reach behind him into his cloak and then pull his hand out, and he has this little wooden doll of a cat with a giant head that's 2 times bigger than the cat's body. And she looks and goes, "Oh, that looks like what Granny always tells us about with the cracky cracky,
Yeah,
The crack
it's a much better
cookie.
name for it.
the cracky cookie."
We're gonna call it that now. So, you've never seen one of these then?
No, I've seen cats before though.
Like big cats or small cats?
Like a house cat.
Oh, I was hoping you'd seen a big cat.
There's one here in town.
A house cat?
Yeah, he takes care of all the mice.
Does he? Does he talk?
Means no.
I hand her the doll.
She takes it and she hugs it. I'll call him
Does
Ilmer. Just like the cat.
As
The cat's
adorable as this is, we do actually have business we need to get done.
She just looks up at Fee like,
I kneel down next to her and nudge her a little bit with an elbow.
huh?
So your friend went out picking berries, right?
Yeah?
Was there any reason you can think of that this was different from any other time she's gone out to pick berries? Can you think of anything that was unusual, anything she did or said?
My hands got sticky.
Were you with her?
I was gonna go with her, but then my hands got sticky. And so I went home to wash up.
Is that unusual?
What did your hands get sticky from?
The door.
What door?
Her door.
Whose door?
Claire's door.
The blacksmith store.
I went over and I went inside, but when I was going inside through the door, my hands got all sticky.
The front door or the back door?
Front door?
Why was it sticky?
Claire laughed and laughed at me. And she wanted to go out picking berries, but I was too sticky. I didn't want to go out anymore after that.
Did Claire like to play a lot of jokes?
No. She laughed at lots of jokes. She's always laughing. She's really happy.
Did you get any of the sticky stuff on any of your clothes?
I think I did.
Do you have those clothes been washed yet?
She like runs away from the front door, and then comes back with a little bonnet. I got this all sticky as she holds it up.
Can I borrow this? I'll bring it back to you tomorrow evening.
You promise you'll bring it back?
I promise I will bring it back.
What do you think?
Dragons
She
always
holds
keep
she
their
holds
word.
the little cat doll up to her ear. She's like, "What do you think?" Okay, you can take it, and she hands it to Fee.
I just tuck it. I tuck it in my bag away from anything else.
Okay.
So you said Claire laughed a lot.
Mhm.
Did she seem to laugh a lot when things like this happen? Like when you got sticky or something she thought was very funny happened to someone else in town?
Well, yeah. I mean, it was really funny. I mean, me getting sticky wasn't funny. It was gross. But like when the speaker he fell off the ladder, that was really funny.
What
And
about
when Jasper like had all the worms fall on him, that was really funny too.
what about something like drilling holes in a cup?
What?
And imagine someone has a cup
Okay.
and they poured water in it, and then they handed it to someone, and the water just fell onto their lap instead of they were able to drink.
That sounds funny.
Does that sound like something that would happen when Claire was around?
I don't. I maybe lots of funny things happen.
That's true.
You have another friend, don't you? Little boy, what's his name?
Gunther.
Godfrey?
Do you have a little friend named Gunther?
Oh, Gunther. I know Gunther. Yeah, he's nice.
Was he going to go berry picking with you as well?
No, I think he was helping his dad.
When was the last time something really funny happened to Gunther that Claire laughed about?
I don't know.
Fair enough.
I'm curious if Ilmer ever goes berry hunting, berry picking.
Yeah, he came with us once.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Did he help, or was he just like keeping an eye on you all?
Did anything funny happen with him?
Oh, I don't know.
So nothing you remember.
Ilmer's really nice. He eats the mice.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure he does.
So I repeatedly, like every time this child says something, I just look at Imnos like I don't understand. Just this entire time.
He'll just kind of. This is how kids do.
I'm
This
sorry
is
that
normal.
I'm sorry that my Lily couldn't be more help for you all. The mother like puts her hands on Lily's shoulders and like pats her head, but she wasn't with Claire.
On the contrary, I think she's been very, very helpful.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
I look at the mother. Thank you so much for giving us this chance to talk with your daughter.
Of course,
I-
anything that we can
I
do to try and help
appreciate
find
that.
Claire.
And I look at Lily and I'm like, thank you so much for your cooperation. I believe that you have helped us greatly in our investigation.
You're welcome, Metal Lady.
Kip starts choking and walks outside.
I'm
Have a
not.
good night, ma'am.
It's just it's armor.
Oh, it's really nice.
Do you want to touch it?
I've touched metal.
Okay.
Claire's dad's a blacksmith. He has lots of metal.
Okay. Well, thank you for liking my armor.
I have something 100 times cooler. Do you want to meet my best friend?
Sure.
Luna, Belly.
Luna like zooms in between your legs and rolls over on her back. Lily immediately like goes to the dog and starts petting on the dog.
This is my best friend, my best friend Luna.
Oh, Luna's so cool. We don't have any dogs in town. I don't think Ilmer likes them, but that's okay.
Luna's not a dog.
She looks like a dog.
She's
Big
a
dog.
wolf,
Isn't that a dog?
sort of.
She's
Kip is
good-
having a choking
good
fit
dog.
outside.
All right, Luna, bedtime.
Luna like shoots up. Lily steps back inside the house. Her mom like shoos her back off into the house. Well, it's really late now. I think we're gonna be calling it an evening ourselves. If you need to talk to Lily though tomorrow, we can talk then.
Thank you.
If we
Much
need to
obliged.
return, we will.
Thank
Have a
you
good
very
night.
much.
Well, I
Have a
need
good-
to return this bonnet tomorrow, so we'll be back tomorrow.
Thank you. I appreciate it. She closes the door behind her.
When you guys leave the house, Kip is standing stock still in the middle of the street with his eyes closed.
Are you all right, Kip?
Have a theory.
Me too.
Me 3,
Are all children sticky?
Yes.
usually.
Kip,
Frequently.
Kip mutters under his breath in Draconic. Wait, I'm making a leap of logic based off of one of my feats. And in Draconic, he mutters the word pixies.
I
That's
start
not that
laughing.
much fun.
My eyes just become saucers.
Do we all speak Draconic?
I
Can
think we
not?
do.
Yeah, apparently everyone speaks Draconic.
We're the baby worms. Of course we speak Draconic.
It
We're not
works.
the baby
it works
worms.
so much.
Oh my god.
It's
Without
perfect. That'll just be our secret language as our group.
without going into too much boring detail, I have a lot of history with the Fae.
This sounds very. Yeah, I'm.
Is this good history or bad history?
How do you
As-
feel about Franks?
As friendly as one can get with the pixies, I'm not on poor terms with the Fae-blooded, but pixies don't pick sides. They just tease everyone equally.
I don't mind being the victim of pranks so long as we can rescue this girl.
I think the girl may have known more than others.
Yeah, I'm not positive. Based on what Lily said, I'm not positive she's been kidnapped.
She may just think she has new best friends.
Yeah.
I'm more if they're Fae, then there could be things like will-o-wisps that could have lured her away. It may not be entirely innocuous.
So kidnapped or not, she still may be in danger.
Yeah.
Well, she could still be in danger because she might not realize that she has to go home, or she might not remember remember the way home. Even on the best of terms, things like time are, different. Kind of in the way that my sense of time is different than Kip's.
That being the case, if you're correct, what do you think is the best way for us to proceed?
We should talk to the cat.
I hate that he's right, but we should talk to the cats.
God damn it. I don't like talking to cats.
I can talk to cat. Well, I can't talk to cats, but I can deal with cats better than I can deal with kids.
Anyone here with dark vision, please roll perception for me.
I'm just gonna trust all of your
Specifically
opinions
dark
on this.
vision, right?
You have to have dark vision for this one.
Is my Raven back yet?
No, he's not.
If we were level 3, I would have dark vision, but we're not.
He's not dead, at least, Johnny.
You do know he's
No.
not dead for sure.
Can I sense him? Is he a mile?
He is not within a mile of you.
Fuck.
Does no one here have dark vision?
No,
Okay, cool.
Oh.
Thank you.
a surprising number of us are human.
I just have low light vision.
Okay.
Same.
I'm human.
Unfortunately, it is nighttime and there is a heavy canopy over you, so it is very dark other than small candlelight.
Wait, I see the cat.
So you guys figure out what you need to figure out, says Tomas standing next to you.
I think we're on the right path.
Boss, how often do harmless little pranks seem to happen in town?
I mean, I don't know if any pranks happen in town. None of the kids are kind of like that. I mean, they play little tricks on each other. I don't really notice anything else. Like the accidents that she's talking about, those happen. I don't know, same number of times they happen anywhere else. I would imagine. I don't keep a notepad on it.
Nothing you would say is out of the ordinary then?
Why was
Well, I
the
mean,
door sticky?
When that bucket of night crawlers fell on Jasper, that was kind of out of the ordinary, I guess. But he had it up on that high shelf. I don't know why he had it up there to begin with. And he has the arthritis, so
Do you know what that sticky substance would be on your door?
there isn't anything sticky on my door.
That's why I'm trying to get. If we go inside, I might be able to take a look and figure it out.
Let's go back inside then. He leads you back across the path into the blacksmith shop. Give me a knowledge nature check, please, Fee.
Yep.
If she's looking at it, can we do it too?
You can try an 8-er.
I'll try and help.
Yeah. For everyone who gets over a 15, you give her a +2.
Not me.
Yeah,
All right.
30.
There's a 30. It's pine sap.
Okay. It's not alchemical. It's just pine tar.
Why would there be
Children.
pine tar on my front door? My door is made of oak. There's no pine trees here on my little piece.
Because
Somebody
I
put it
think
there.
all children are sticky.
How prevalent are pines in this forest?
I mean, probably equal as anything else in the forest. I'm not a treeologist though.
When we were walking through, Wade, like, what was is it like deciduous? Is it?
Yeah, it's deciduous, so it's a good mix of different types of trees. Pine's prevalent, but it's not the main
Okay.
wood.
So it's
by
like
any stretch.
Midwestern forest.
Yeah, western deciduous is a good descriptor.
We should probably keep our eyes open for particularly pine-dense locations while we're traveling tomorrow. Might give us more clues.
I mean, really, this will come out of any pine tree. You only need one to get, like, I mean, like 2 or 3 trees probably would give you enough pine tar to stick a door. So it's not like you would need like a full pine patch to really produce, this much. But somebody definitely knew what they were doing to get this, how to extract it and boil it down.
I suppose we can just keep our eyes open for trees that look like they've been tapped.
Tomas,
Yeah.
this might sound a little odd, but do you have any milk in town that I might get a glass of? Maybe something fresh baked?
No cattle in town.
Any alcohol?
I mean, I got a little jug.
Mead, maybe?
Not that fancy. We got some moonshine. I just have
Ah.
the jug of what I brought with me. I try and, ration it out.
Can I have a tiny bit? Especially if there's any fresh baked breads or oat cakes, anything like that I could pair with it.
I mean, you could probably get some cornbread in the morning. I'm sure one of the families will be cooking something.
Just the alcohol for now is fine then.
All right. He walks over to his bed and reaches under and pulls out a jug. You got something for me to put it in?
I'll find a small receptacle in my pack. It very, very small, like maybe an ounce.
He gives you a dollop of brew.
Thank you. Did your daughter happen to bring back any fruit that might still be fresh
She
recently?
never came back.
I meant more recently.
No, that's why she left, because we were all out of berries.
Okay. Well, this'll have to do for now. I'm gonna step outside.
Okay.
If anybody needs me, let me know. I'm gonna step outside, just near the door, put out the little thing of alcohol, and some shiny odds and ends from my packs. A couple of his rings or bracelets that are particularly shiny, and leave them ringed around the alcohol. And then he's going to sit very quietly and wait.
How long are you staying outside for?
I mean, till he gets bored, so probably like an hour or two.
Okay. What's everyone else doing?
I'm still talking to the blacksmith. We heard from Lily the town has a cat.
Yeah, there's a little tabby that's running around all over the place every now and then.
Does anyone own the cat?
Nah, it's kind of like the village cat.
Just kind of show up.
Yeah. I think it may have come with us. I mean, it had to, I guess.
Has it said
caravan
anything?
people start heading out and stuff like that. Animals pick up. Sorry, what'd you say?
I said, has it struck up a conversation with you?
Are you drunk? Cats
A
don't
little bit.
talk.
Yes, they do.
I mean, they mule, I guess. Screech like a demon every now and then.
That is true, but sometimes they talk.
If this is a normal cat, I am not talking to this cat.
Looks like a pretty normal cat to me, but I'm not a catologist.
I think I'm going to go get some sleep
Yeah.
and try and wake up
Same.
early in the morning.
I agree.
Yeah, we'll have to get to it.
Kip, you hang out for a couple hours and nothing walks up. In the first hour that you're there, you start seeing the candle lights being snuffed out around the little shacks until there's no more light at all, and you're just left kind of in almost pure darkness. Not quite pure darkness, but close to. And again, the area that you guys are in.
Okay, I'll wait up long enough to constitute first watch.
Okay. Give me perception.
1 sec.
All right. You spend most of your watch kind of like fiddling with the rings that you put down there, and moving the little brew container or just like an inch. Like you're like, oh, maybe that's not the right spot to put it in as you're thinking about it, and you don't really notice anything that catches your awareness.
Gotcha. If nothing eventful happens by the end of my watch, I'm gonna go in and eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and nudge Imnos. Might be best if at least one of us keeps watch per usual tonight.
I'll relieve you. Get some
Thank you.
sleep.
I'll swap out.
Imnos, perception, please. You sit down inside the shop because there's no light other than the embers of the fire that was going earlier outside. So it'd be worthless for you to stand outside and keep watch. And you just find yourself relaxing, staring into the embers of the dying fire before you kind of jolt a little bit, realizing you might have dozed off a little bit. But otherwise, nothing eventful happens during your watch.
Probably poke Alara then.
Okay.
Perception, Laura. Okay, sub Tims for all three.
We're
of
all
you.
doing great.
Oh yeah.
Get them out now, guys. Just get them out now.
It's the wisest party.
Yeah. You're very bleary from the sleep, Alara. Like that child just kind of has left you kind of dazed as you're like, all children are sticky? All of them?
All of them? Are they all sticky?
And you just think about that for your entire watch.
Where does it come from?
And otherwise,
Pine trees.
otherwise uneventful watch for you as you start hearing the chirping of birds, and then lights start spilling into the village. And this is where we're going to take our first break for the evening, folks.
Okay.
And we'll be right back.
Sounds good.
welcome back. All right, so it is morning. You are in Dunbury. You have a few clues as to what's going on with Claire, the lost dwarven child. What would you like to do?
I'm going to check the offering first thing.
All right.
I'm gonna. Oh, go ahead.
So, Kip, you poke your head outside, and you do see that the little vessel that you had is empty, and all the little trinkets you set out around it are gone.
Fair enough. I kind of inform the party of that, but that I'm not entirely sure what that means.
Is that
I'm gonna
usually
check around
indicative
there
of
to make sure
something?
there's no tracks, to make sure that a little kid didn't just steal it.
Or a cat.
Roll survival for me,
Okay.
The cat's an alcoholic.
like all cats.
Aren't we all?
Oh,
All you cool cats and kittens are alcoholics.
Okay, no.
17. You don't see any humanoid tracks, Fee, but you do see a couple of little paw prints.
God damn
in the
it,
mud next to the step that the things were put on.
guys! The cat's an alcoholic.
I knew I was going to like this cat.
I'm not
Oh.
talking to this cat.
Maybe we can find the cat. I'm good with animals.
Do you mind if we stop at Lily's house first so I can return
No.
this bonnet? All
We
right,
can do that. That's fine. Who knows? Maybe the cat's at her house.
maybe.
Hey,
So you guys look across the pathway to where Lily's house is, and you see her mom coming out with a basket of clothes.
Oh, I run over with the bonnet in my hand.
Oh, adventurer.
Hi, Lily lent me this bonnet. I just
Oh.
want to let you know what you're gonna want to do in case you're not familiar. I don't know if your husband's a lumberman. Soak the bonnet in some alcohol for about an hour, and then wash it with boiling water. There's pine tar all over it.
Kids are always getting into things. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And she takes it, she puts it on top of her load, and she starts walking off.
All right.
All right.
Let's see if we can follow these tracks. These kitty paw prints.
So you're trying to track the cat paw prints to wherever the cat may be?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me another survival check. Fee.
Cat.
If anyone's trained in survival, they can assist. Oh, and I apologize. This something I've been forgetting the last two games. I really need to remember to do it. Visualize it on the screen. You all also have the fate dice that we've discussed. So there's the fate dice, which are one of each dice type, that you all can use at any point that you want to augment any roll that you want. The trade-off here is that once you use it, it comes over to my side, and I can use it at any point that I want to for any roll that I make. So you have, a die 4, die 6, so on and so forth.
please don't use 6 of them in one turn like one of our party members did.
I won't allow anyone to do that. At most that will ever happen is you all can use 1 and I can use 1. That is
That
the
seems
most
a little
die
more
that will ever
reasonable.
be used at any given time.
Watched
So you
all
do
of
have
them
the fate
trade
dice if you
hands.
would like to use that, Fee.
Um.
I think this is important enough that if you want to, you should go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, live dangerously.
17.
All right. So 17, that will be good enough to start tracking. So you start following the little cat paws. This cat can't be any bigger than my cat, Specs, the one that we all saw earlier on Alara's lap. But you are easily able to start tracking it through the soft ground that's over here. Give me a perception check. Everyone can roll this.
Hey, Dakota, don't forget Luna can assist because she has scent and track.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm too busy tracking. Sorry, guys.
All right, I think that's everybody. Oh, that's my food. I will be right back, actually.
Okay.
All right, we're back.
You killed Johnny.
All right, so just going through the rules here real fast.
Thank goodness none of that conversation was streaming.
Right?
You're welcome. Imnos, Alara, and Kip. All three of you, as Fia is leading you all along this cat track path, you see a shiny pair of reflective eyes shining at you all from underneath a log that's fallen over behind one of the houses.
Oh, I think that's her. And I crouch down and I do the tiniest violin finger trick. And the would you like me to roll handle animal?
Please. So you start doing the and after a moment, the head of this little cat comes out of from underneath the log, and you can tell that it's a tabby cat. As it pokes around, it looks side to side, looks back towards you all, and then slowly starts walking a little close to you, and then stops and turns sideways and walks backwards away from you, and then walks horizontally and parallel to you all, and then sits down and starts licking its paw.
I'm gonna detect magic, just cause.
All right.
I've got one useful thing.
It is not magical.
I reach in my pack and tear off like a little strip of jerky and hand it over to Alara.
I take the jerky and I put it near the cat.
You hold out food, and the cat immediately starts walking over to you. And then as it gets really close, it gets kind of hesitant before it kind of like sticks its head out, elongates it as much as it can, and starts licking at the jerky.
Okay. I'm patient.
And then starts nibbling on the jerky.
Akko looks at everybody like they're crazy, and then to the cat, "Hail, friend," in Elvish.
It seems focused on the food that it's currently eating.
Disappointment.
I'm gonna say hello to the cat and Sylvan.
It continues to remain focused on the jerky.
Okay.
If it pulls at the jerky, I'll let it go.
It does.
But-
Eventually, it just
okay.
takes a mouthful and pulls it out of your hand, and then steps on it and starts eating it.
Yeah, I don't want it. I don't want to drop it while it's investigating it. But if it takes the jerky from me, I let it go. I don't fight the cat.
Eventually stops eating on the jerky and then starts walking around your ankles, Alara, rubbing up against your ankles and your feet.
Okay, I'll pet the cat.
It
I'll-
accepts your petting as it is entitled to all of it.
Yes. And then how high is the sun? Is it sunny out?
It's still early morning, so it's not high at all. But you guys have some light right now.
I have some light. I take out a small mirror
Okay.
and I try to reflect some of the sunlight off the mirror onto the ground, so it does the light reflecting thing.
Yeah, you're red dotting it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it starts playing.
Okay. I continue playing with the cat.
Yeah.
What knowledge would it be to identify this creature?
Knowledge nature.
Does seem a lot like a cat.
It's gonna be a
It-
fucking cat, and I'm
It's
gonna
an
be so
it's
angry.
a normal cat. I had to try.
I assume that's fees.
Yeah, that's my knowledge nature.
Okay. You believe that this is a tabby cat. Just a regular old household cat.
If we are wasting our time looking for this little girl, not getting paid, playing with a fucking cat, you all owe me.
Okay. Here's my main question. I have one very important question. But isn't playing with the cat worth it?
No,
Look how cute he is.
I don't like cats.
My 300 hours.
The
in Red
cat
Dead
starts going
Redemption.
over to Fee and rubbing against her ankles.
Luna, here.
It gives like a hiss and runs away with the piece of jerky.
Well, I suggest we proceed into the forest at this point.
I mean, if there are pixies or fae of some kind, and they do favor that cat, you might have just upset them. They might like the cat because it's just a cat, but they might not be just, non-existent.
Well, hopefully they'll remember that we fed and pet the cat.
There's some
I played with it too.
there's some
Hopefully-
prevalent beliefs out there that cats are actually their own fey court.
Hopefully they would have also heard and understood, if they're so fond of the cat, that we're looking for a little girl. And won't hold it against me when I don't like cats.
Why don't you like cats?
They're not dogs.
That doesn't mean you have to dislike cats.
They're haughty. They don't listen. You can't train them.
I just look at Kip.
Kip just starts walking and does not make eye contact with anybody.
Kip, would you like a
Bucko
drink?
follows him and looks very disappointed by the lack of an intelligent cat.
Kip, sit for a drink.
Obviously, I'm more of a cat person. Bye.
I could have sworn I had him trained.
I mean, you sure you don't like cats?
Yeah, I really don't.
So as you all turn to start walking away, Fee, you notice that Luna isn't following you. Luna is over by the log, sniffing around at the log.
I'll go check out the logs.
Give me a survival check. All right. So first off, you notice that these logs have been stacked here purposefully the way they are. The main giant log that's fallen over, that's natural. That the way that fell, that's completely natural. But there are sticks that have been overlaid over top of it, essentially to create this little den. And as you look inside, you can tell that this is where this cat lives. You see like little bones in there. You see like some pieces of food that's been left there. And there's even some cloth that's been put in there for the cat to lay on comfortably. And you can clearly see where there are little shoe prints around this area. More importantly, though, you can see where one of these shoe prints is heading west into the forest, away from the village.
Oi, friendos. You're going to want to come here and take a look at this, and then we're going to want to go west. and I'll basically just like take one of the small sticks that's not like in structure and just point to the shoe prints.
These.
Wait, so this little pile of logs and this little nest. So what I said is correct. The cat is a favorite of the Fae.
When I say little shoe prints, Fee, these are clearly like little children's footprints.
Oh, okay.
From the villagers.
Okay, so they're favorite of children.
But yeah, the kids are taking care of the cat.
That's fine.
Sorry, I was imagining like Barbie football.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I kind of left that one a little open to interpretation.
I'm going to start following the footprints.
Yeah, let's start going west.
Yep.
Okay. You all start traveling away from the village into the wood. West is the way towards the center of the Black Forest, just for geography's sake here.
Is it also the direction that the berry patches were off to the west?
No, the berry patches were north.
Oh, interesting. All right.
So you all start traveling west, and Fee, with that amazing survival check, you can clearly see where there is a little path that's been cut here from continual use. Very clearly, both the cat and the children have traveled this little path quite often over the last few months. They've pretty much made like a game trail here.
How old was that footprint?
The one that was by the cat house?
Yeah.
Probably about 2 days old.
Okay. So it probably wasn't...
2
to 3, so it
Yeah,
could
2
have
or
been
3.
the little girl. Okay.
So as you all continue moving through, the forest is really no different than you've seen it up to this point. You do see some pine trees out this way as you pass, but you see lots of different trees also. They're very intermingled at this point as you get deeper and thicker into the forest. Until you all do cut through a tree line and you find yourself in a pretty nice glade. There's a smallish pond with a big rock coming up out of the center of it. With little spurts of jagged rock coming up out of this pond. But very nice area, very, very serene looking.
Hip
Probably the best way to
immediately
describe it.
leaps back into the tree line before breaking the circle of the woods.
Okay.
Does it look like the trail goes straight to the pond?
Yeah, it seems to lead up into that area. Yeah. It's a clearing with a pond and just surrounded by trees.
How big is the clearing?
Probably about 50, 60 feet.
Hey,
In
Imnos,
radius?
can you come with me?
Of course.
I'm gonna start walking to direct counter opposite of the glade clearing to see if the path continues through
Okay.
the woods or if it stops at it dead ends at the pool.
You can see where there's several tracks around the pool. But you do see where a fresher set of tracks that you pretty much line up with the ones that you saw at the cat house. They move to the south side of the glade, where you see a very noticeable ring of mushrooms.
Yo, all of you, get over here.
This looks relevant.
This
I
looks
go
not
up there?
good. This looks
Give me a knowledge nature for those trained in it.
very not good.
All right, Fee, this is identifiably a fairy circle. Like, this is one
Yeah.
of the classic signs of a fairy circle. It has all the telltale marks of it: glade, clearing, mushroom circle. The mushroom circle by itself is a very distinct flag of fairy activity in the area.
And the kids' footprints go
go right into
Into it. Great.
and then don't come out.
I'll nudge Fee.
Yeah.
It's worth a shot. And Sylvan, say something along the lines of "Hello, may the sun shine upon you."
Kip is saying that in Sylvan.
No,
I'm
but I
saying
will.
that in common.
All right.
Hello, friends. May the sun shine upon your path.
Okay. When you say that, for a moment, there's really no action that results from you saying that. Just a silence hangs in the air until you all start to pick up the distinct sound of string instrument playing, very softly at first, and then it gets a little bit louder and closer. And you look towards the tree line, and in a tree that's really close to this mushroom circle, you see a branch with the leaves sort of part a little bit, and you see what can only really be described as a very large grasshopper standing there playing a little fiddle with its arm across this little fiddle strings as he's playing it.
Geppetto.
I'll walk over to the grasshopper, just being very, very careful not to step through the fairy circle.
I'm gonna while she's doing that, I'm gonna speak very clearly under my breath in Draconic. If at all possible, do not make direct eye contact. Stare at their foreheads, stare at their chins. Accept nothing.
Fee, as you approach, it continues playing the music on its little fiddle. It picks up a little speed as you start walking towards it, sort of matching your movements, and then going into this sort of, as you settle down and stop near it, it goes into this slow marching type of music. Very somber compared to the upbeat, flitting music it was playing before.
I'll address him in Sylvan. Master Fiddler, we're hoping that you might be able to. We're searching for a child who's missing from the local village. Might you know anything about that?
Do you have something to share?
We have an offering. I'll say that in common and see if he responds.
His big bulb eyes. It's hard to track what he's looking at for the way that grasshopper eyes are really designed. But you do see the bulbs shift a little, probably reacting to Kip's words. He's like, "Go ahead and present it here to me." He's playing on the fiddle still.
I'll
the music
offer
picking up a little bit.
a small serving of wine and another one of my dozen fucking bracelets or rings.
He makes one sharp stab across his fiddle, and then takes his arm away. But you still hear this music playing with the fiddle, as he waves his arms towards himself, offering for you to come closer, Kip. Bring it here. Bring it here.
Kip is visibly shaking as he moves closer.
As you hold it up to him, he reaches out with his hands, and you can see that he has what amounts to more humanoid hands at the end of these elongated mandibles. As he reaches out and grabs what you're offering him, he's like, "Oh, thank you so much, Flyboy. I appreciate it." And he takes a sip of the wine.
With respect, can I inquire if you're a child of summer or winter?
Oh, I'm a child of the forest.
I've been raised to believe that it's more respectful to inquire than to assume.
Well, we're not in the Feywilds here, so you can just think of me as your friend in the forest. How can I help my friends who bring me such tasty wine?
We're looking for a girl named Claire who went missing from the local village, and it looks as though her tracks may have led her to this circle here.
Oh, Claire visits all the time. She just loves to come and play in the pond with Lily and with the little kitty cat that they have.
I like that cat.
Oh, he's very kind.
When was the last time you saw them here?
Oh, I don't know. My memory seems to be fleeting as he turns the cup over and it's empty.
I'm already refilling it. Like wineskin is unstoppered, ready to refill at need.
Yeah, he accepts the drink. Oh, a couple days ago, I suppose that she came by.
Did you see them leave?
Oh, it was just Claire.
Did you see Claire leave?
Yes, I did.
What direction did she go?
Towards home.
Made it home.
Here's your cup back.
Who walked through the circle here then?
Oh no. You said
People come
home.
and go through the circle.
You said home. Her home or yours?
He's so smart. He's so smart. Ha 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 ha. You wouldn't have a bucket fall on your head.
Hmm.
He kind of crouches down a little bit and then springs up over top of Kip's head and lands on a rock next to the mushroom circle.
I don't like this.
Why
Have
do you
you-
care about Claire? Is she a friend of yours? Do you play together?
Her father misses her very much.
A question for a question. Seems fair,
You've asked lots of questions.
and we've answered many too. From this point forward, a question for a question.
Hmm.
Do you agree to my terms?
It was good wine, but I don't think that I'm that drunk.
Well, there's plenty more. Some stronger spirits.
Do you have any fruit? Anything nice and shiny?
I have many shiny things. And I'll produce a gold coin.
You can't buy my words.
I have dried fruit. I have some dried tea.
The creature springs up again and lands on your shoulder, Imnos.
I'll
Fruit?
take out like some dried apricot and nuts.
You
If
can
you're
ask
willing
a
to help
question.
us,
And he takes some of the dried fruit and starts shoving it into his mouth, just
Wait.
grotesquely almost shoving
Can
it in.
can I interject before he reaches out for it?
How do you want to interject?
I just put my hand in the way. Do you agree to our terms?
Um,
A question for a question.
make a dexterity check for me to see
Sure.
if you can react fast enough to get over there in between them.
Isn't a hostage negotiate? Well, actually, this might be a hostage negotiation. I don't know.
Unfortunately, not Kip. You
All
see
right.
him spring towards Imnos, and you start taking a step over there, but he's already scooping up the dried apricots and shoving it into his mouth before you can get close.
So I'll just smile. So you've accepted a given.
I told him he could ask me a question.
I'll just nod towards Imnos.
Do you want to know when you're going to die?
That is not an answer I seek right now.
Do you want to know when your friends are going to die?
That's
Do you
not
want to
an
know when the
answer I seek
world's going to
either.
burn away into nothing? Do you want to know when the pelicans will flock north?
This is
Today, I wish to know how to return Claire to her father.
Oh, I don't know. You would have to ask Claire's guardian.
Who might that be?
that's the cat.
Do you have more or something nicer?
I pull out my mirror.
Names are good. Names are powerful.
I pull out the mirror.
No.
He does not want to trade. No more words, and it springs off of Imnos' shoulder and lands back on the tree branch that it was at. Flyboy doesn't want any secrets. No knowledge.
No names.
Do you like the cat?
Oh, he's nice. I like him a lot.
Would you like to learn a way and get the tool to entertain him?
I can entertain the cat with my music, and he plays with me, and we jump around the forest.
In another way?
What way?
There are always more ways to entertain a cat.
Like what?
I pull out the mirror and I do again what I did with capturing the light and reflecting it onto the ground so it jumps and dances.
He jumps off the branch and lands on top of the sunbeam on the ground, looking at it and waving his hands around over top of it.
I move it
He jumps at the next one.
and I keep moving it.
That's really neat. That makes
Isn't it?
cats happy?
They love this.
Well, look at that. She taught you a new game. Fascinating, isn't it?
Games and games. I love games. Me and Claire play games all day long.
I flip the mirror back so it's no longer reflecting the light.
Huh? Bring it back. We'll play.
We could play. Or I could give you the toy. Or we can continue what we're doing now.
What are we doing now?
I look at Kip.
You said Claire went home. Whose home?
Her home.
We want to find who her keeper is. Kip.
Can I have the mirror?
So you don't want to play?
I want to play with the cat.
You want to play with the cat, but the cat's not here.
I'll find the cat.
Sounds like we would
I go
need
into
an
the village all the
introduction to a
time.
guardian.
And
You
we
go
play.
into the. Is that how Granny Tuka got holes in her cups?
It was so fun. Claire told me she loves her tea, and I thought it would be really funny if all the tea spilled all over the place.
It was very clever of you.
I'm good at pranks.
But you didn't get to see when it fell on us.
It fell on you?
Yeah.
Haha, I got you.
But you didn't get to see our reactions. You didn't get to see how we acted because you were nowhere near it. So, what's the point of playing a game like that if you don't get to hear the punchline?
No, I see things.
But you didn't know that
It's
the
not
tea
just for
fell on
me.
us.
The others watch.
Oh, the others. How many others?
How? What? How many? How many?
How many? Many or not so many.
Who are you? Servant?
I'm many things and nothing at the same time.
Well, I guess if we don't want to trade for the mirror, I guess I can just go
trade
play
for
with
the
Claire.
mirror. I am willing to trade for the mirror, but if I trade for the mirror, I can't play with you anymore. with the mirror.
Do you want to come home and play? You can
Oh,
come
my
with me.
home is very far away from here.
You can get a new home.
Oh, I could get a new home, but I will take mine.
Dahlia will play with you.
Dahlia?
Dahlia.
What a name given.
He hops away from the ground back to his tree branch. No more playing. You're tricksy. You all play tricks on me. That's no fair.
This seems fair for the trick that you played on us.
Thought tricks were your trade.
It's no fun.
It's not fun? And I reflect the light on the floor again.
I don't want to play your game anymore.
Not even if the light dances to the music you make?
How?
Well, play your music and I'll show you.
He lifts his fiddle back up and starts playing the music again.
And I bounce the light to the beat of the music.
I want the mirror.
Okay.
Give me.
I will give you the mirror in trade.
For what?
Words with Claire face to face.
I can't make Claire's face.
Then you can bring her here.
Okay. And he leaps again and lands inside of the circle. And as he lands in the circle, you see him pass through the grass and disappear.
Fascinating.
Yeah, don't step in that thing.
Ip looks on the verge of a panic attack.
It can't be that bad.
It could be that bad.
I've been inside one of those once.
The grasshopper or the circle?
The circle. I danced for 14 days without being allowed to eat or sleep.
How did you not die?
Because they didn't will it so.
But they can't control your body, can you? I mean, physiologically, like, you would pass out before that.
The rules are different in their world.
Time works differently.
So you have knowledge of the planes?
I
It's not a
philosophically,
different plane, though.
philosophically,
So how
I
is it a
know
different
what you're saying,
world?
but things work differently there.
If it's a different world but not a different plane, then what is it?
Think where I'm from.
It's an altered reality.
Time also works differently where I'm from. Time passes differently for us.
Listen, I met a really pretty girl in the woods. Things got a little serious, and then I
That
found
was
out.
me, you dipshit!
Yeah, no.
Maybe
it
we should
wasn't.
focus.
I am focusing. This is
Things
my
work a lot different where we are. You all hear a very melodious voice speak behind you as you turn towards the pond, and not on the giant rock in the center of it, but on one of the smaller rocks that are jutting up out of the pond. You see a woman wearing a sheer blue cloth, almost like a toga, over her body, as she lounges over the rock, her body just draped across the rock with her head dangling sideways off of it, looking at you all. Big, long, pointed ears, much larger than any elf you've ever seen, and giant almond eyes.
Good morning.
I'll sketch a very courtly bow.
I hear that you want to meet my ward.
Your ward?
Yes.
Oh, my new daughter, Claire. What business do you have with my child?
her father misses her dearly.
Her father, who let her play in a dangerous, dark wood filled with terrible creatures? I'm not sure I care about what he misses and doesn't miss.
Her father, who didn't deign to keep her prisoner.
She was safe in the village, but he let her go out of the village with nothing but herself and a raggedy, moldy bundle of sticks.
Would you have been bound to one place when there were wonders to explore?
I am bound to one place.
Exploring the world around them is the way of mortal children. It's how we grow, it's how we learn.
But she was so unsafe. Anything could have gotten her if I didn't protect her. She needed a mother.
And clearly you've done a fine job of protecting her. But that doesn't mean she belongs to you.
She wanted to be with me.
Does she not want to be with her father?
She doesn't think about him anymore. She's very happy where she is now.
I'm positive that you believe that.
Does she not think of him of her own free will?
She can think of anything of her own free will.
We would like to speak to her if we may.
Why?
We are concerned for her well-being, for her future.
No, why should I let you speak to her? She's very
Ah.
happy where she is. I don't want to upset her.
Do you wish for her to stay a child her whole life?
She'll grow.
Do you
And
wish for her to be
Beautiful woman,
happy?
like her mother.
Do you truly wish for her to be happy?
Of course. She's very happy.
Do you wish for her to remain happy?
Of course. Every mother wants their child to remain happy.
Then, if she is truly going to be happy with you, speaking with us and being aware that her father misses her won't impede on her happiness.
Hearing of someone
Because-
being upset will make her happy? I'm not sure I understand that.
It won't make her unhappy because it'll let her know that she is loved.
Sounds like something terribly sad.
Love
We're
can be
not-
sad, but
We're
love
not seeking to
is
deceive
also
the child.
joyful.
There's a saying that one can't truly experience love without first having experienced sorrow.
When Kip speaks up, this woman's eyes lock onto him
I
and just stare at him for a
I
moment.
immediately shift my gaze to her feet. And I hold my courtly bow.
My lady, I have a question, if I may. I understand that you care for the happiness of your daughter. Do you also care for the happiness of other children? Her friends, for example.
All children are precious. They can all come and live with me. I'll be all of their mother.
Her friends miss her, and in her absence they are saddened. You see, for mortals, we are communities. When some among our number are missing or departed from one another, the whole is diminished and sadness grows in its place. The village, her greater family, as it were, is injured in her absence.
Make a diplomacy roll for me, Imnos.
Let's see how this goes. Can I
Hey.
use one of those dice?
Absolutely, you can.
Wait, side question.
Yeah.
Are you playing Skyrim music?
No, I'm
Okay.
not.
Most definitely not.
Well, I'm absolutely not playing Skyrim music, as opposed to my normal. Of course not.
Nah, this is. I do not recognize this, and I would recognize from that soundtrack.
All right, so
That's
it's
fair.
13 total.
Yeah.
Okay.
If anyone wants to maybe help,
I'm gonna-
I'd appreciate
I'm
it.
very willing to help.
Yeah,
I'm
you got. You,
Yeah.
everyone's been talking. Feel free to assist.
I'll toss an assist.
Jesus Christ.
13.
I
15.
rolled a fucking.
A
Fuck
bad.
this. I rolled really, really poorly because it's very hard for me to get that low.
17. All right, is that everybody?
Yep.
Okay.
I think you're muted, John.
No, I just wasn't gonna. I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking, so I'm gonna stay out of that diplomacy roll.
Oh, I see.
I don't want to make children unhappy. I would never want to make a child unhappy. And she waves her hand so that her fingertips graze the water. And as she brings it up, a stream of water follows her hands up and then seems to pack and condense into a thin layer in front of her. And you see a little dwarven girl's face appear in this mirrored water surface. Who are you?
We are friends of your village.
You know my father?
Yes.
And Granny.
And Lily.
Oh,
And
Ilum.
we've met the cat.
And
oh, I miss him so much. He's so fuzzy and warm.
He misses you. Would you like to come out and play with him?
I don't know if I'm allowed to.
Speak your choice.
Oh, we were told that you weren't a prisoner. You're allowed to do anything that you want to.
You see the woman, her smile kind of dips a little bit into a more straight line.
Speak your choice, child. Do you wish to leave and see your father and your friends and your cat again?
I don't know. It's really nice here, and it doesn't get cold.
That's not an answer, though. You won't be in trouble and no one will be upset with you, regardless of what you tell us.
But she
How-
said that she'd take care of everybody if I came.
I look at the woman. If she were to leave, would you stop loving her?
I would never stop loving a child.
Would you stop caring about her?
Never.
Would you close yourself off to her?
No.
So if she were to go and choose to spend time with her father and her friends and her village, you will still be here for her. Am I correct?
But I would be without her.
And I look to the reflection
My
of
waters
Claire.
are so strong with her.
I look back to where we can see the image of Claire. If you had the choice, would you still come and visit this woman who would be as like a mother to you?
Of course, she's been so kind.
Then what if I were to propose a compromise?
The woman sits up more on the rock instead of lounging across it. Just looks at you, Alara. She doesn't say anything, though.
Based on Claire's will, if she chooses to share her time between the woman who would be her mother and also the man who is her father, and maybe keep a foot in both kinds of worlds, she could be loved more than she would be if she chose one over the other.
Alara, not Alara, the woman. Claire agreed to live with me to make my waters strong for her family in the village. If she goes back, the waters will not flourish. Their village will dry.
Perhaps there's another way. Is there some other way that we can help strengthen your waters? Another way that she can honor your friendship?
New
Something
water.
that we could do.
New water. As she leans forward, her smile returning. There is water that I would like to add to my pond, to flourish the forest, empower the village. And if I can have that water, then I will let Claire go between.
What kind of water?
It's to the far north, in a fall, a waterfall, a great waterfall to the north. Many, many leagues to the north. Falling upon 3 towers, I am told. Capture the water from that waterfall and bring it to me. And while you quest for my water, I will allow Claire to visit her father 1 day of the month.
One day is not very long.
Opening the way is very taxing for a mortal to go through. She's not tied to where I am, and so it takes a lot of my power to bring her back and forth.
Then allow her father to come and visit her.
It would require the same constraint, and he is not welcome.
Well, I'm not saying I'm not saying multiple times back and forth, but what if it was for a few days a month? So you'd only have to open it once and close it once each time, but she was over on this side a little bit longer.
I would fear her father would try to steal her from me, and I can't have that.
I think we've all learned that this child is very willful.
Claire
We will
wants to be with me.
She also wants to be with her family.
We
I
can
need
seek
her
to convince
here.
her. We can seek to convince her father
I
to
need
honor
her
her
here
agreement.
to power the waters.
What about her nature powers the waters?
Her deal. Her agreement to give of herself. To love me and be a part of me. And part of my waters. She's added herself to the waters.
Could anyone do that?
I don't know. Or more accurately, I've never tried. She will grow strong here. Stronger as the waters go over years. Forging her own way.
Something occurs to Kip. Do you have another recent visitor in addition to her? A feathered one.
Oh, the crow?
Yes.
He's come
And where is he now?
here.
May I see him?
She shrugs, and out of the fairy circle comes your raven as he flies through the earth and flies over to you.
You're a little too good at what you do. You know that?
I have missed him.
Find the girl.
You get all the treats.
Well done.
I will let her go for a day. She will return once a month until you have the water for me.
A day and a night.
I agree.
I'm curious. I have a question. If we get you the water from the Great Falls, do you move there, or would you still stay here? How does that work?
I would stay here, and my waters would grow. I'm
Like from this
isolated
spot?
here.
Oh, okay.
Would bringing that water here to you make any other land suffer?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Like, would the water from there come rushing out of here?
I'm told
I'm-
that the falls water is incredibly powerful. And if I could add it to my own water, it would allow me to do what I can do much better. And I would be able to allow Claire to come and go as she would want. I would have the strength to forge my will better.
Sounds like we have a proposal to bring back to the village itself at this point.
And your
Yes.
benevolence to the village is freely given.
Claire bought my benevolence with her love.
Claire,
Yeah?
do you wish to stay?
Not forever.
Currently, that is the agreement you seem to have made, whether or not you understood it at the time.
Can you get her water so I can see my father?
Maybe,
don't know.
but it would take a very long time if we could. We don't know the effect of you leaving and what it would have on the village, but that's life.
Well, I'm not going anywhere, right?
Wade,
Yep.
how far are we from the village right now?
You're probably about 3 miles away from the village.
Okay. I will be right back. I'm going to bring Tomas here.
I don't think that's a good idea.
She said he wasn't welcome.
He's not welcome in her lands. This is part of the territory of the
When I suggested that he come here to visit her, she said that he's not welcome.
I thought you meant into my lands to visit on the other side.
Oh,
yeah, that's
Oh,
the
no,
impression I got.
He is not allowed
I
there.
misunderstood.
I
Would
can't
you-
well, I can't control who comes into my glade, but if he wants to come here and speak to Claire through the waters, I would not.
And as well
Be
as speak with
indisposed.
you so he knows not to worry for his child
that's
on the
fair.
on the other days of the month that she is not with him. I will be right back. I'll be back shortly. So I get on Lucian and I ride away towards
Okay.
town.
I have a side question for Claire.
Yes,
Hey, Claire. Just a
I like your scales.
curiosity. Thank you. They're new. I just grew them. Some of them.
Oh wow.
Quick question. Wouldn't you prefer it if your mother were, say, a dwarf? Or at
What?
least looked like one?
My mother died a long time ago.
Well, yeah, but your new mother.
Belina's very pretty.
But wouldn't you prefer it if she looked like a dwarf?
Why?
Because you're a dwarf.
I would think you would find that most children wouldn't really care as long as they're being loved.
What are you getting at, Echo?
I just wanted to see her turn into a dwarf.
Hey, Wade.
The Fae on the rock does crack a small laugh at that. That would be a good prank. I'm not as gullible asked Tabby.
I mean, I was mostly just curious if you could.
Wade,
No. Yes.
as soon as the child spoke that name, Kip immediately looks at the Fae for the reaction.
She doesn't react.
Hmm.
All right. Any other things you all want to talk about with this area before Alara returns?
Claire, I'd like you to know that I think you're very brave for doing this for the sake of your family and your village.
Well, she told me such wonderful things about her home, and our home isn't the best, and we had to leave. We had to leave the city to come out here, and I don't really like the woods that much. And I thought, well, if I could find a nice place to live, and I thought I could come back and forth, but I guess I didn't really understand.
For the record and what it's worth, I do not like this at all. At all.
Well, we must all do the best we can with what we have, no?
I mean, we could just move the entire village into her pocket dimension here, and that would solve everyone's problem.
I mean,
not
or if the
welcome.
village's water fails, the village just closes up and everybody moves back to the city.
I believe things have become a bit more interconnected than that, if I do not miss my guess.
I don't believe they have.
Alara, you ride back into the village. Tomas is at the blacksmith. He didn't go out today because he relied on the adventurers to do their part.
Excellent.
So you find him there.
I immediately go up to him and like, Tomas, I need you to come with me immediately. We have found Claire,
You found her.
but I need you to come with me. There is more to
Wherever.
that story.
Wherever.
Did you say whatever or wherever?
Wherever. Wherever.
In a glade not a few miles from here.
Wherever you want me to go, we will go.
All right, and I get back on my horse.
Yeah, he will climb his way up the
That's
very
fine.
tall horse and sit behind you.
Okay, that's fine. And I ride us back.
All right. You guys come spurring into the glade with everybody. The woman's just lounging back on the rock again, sunbathing at this point.
I ride up. I dismount. I help Tomas down.
Father, Claire lights up in the water mirror, and Tomas just jumps off of the horse, like hits the ground, rolls a little bit, pushes himself up, and runs into the pond, right up next to the mirror.
I try to... Fair enough.
Like
I was going to try to hold him back from...
If you want to try and hold him back, you're more than
himself.
welcome to. Roll me a strength check. If you want to try and stop him, you absolutely can.
I just want to make sure he doesn't...
Your
Drown
hands
himself.
Nice.
latch onto his shoulders, and he's fighting to get into the water.
Say, wait, friend.
What?
Your daughter's safe.
She's there. I'm going
Tomas.
to get her. She's there.
Tomas, listen to me.
Things are more complicated than they look.
If you break that circle, you may never return home, and you certainly will not see your daughter. The rules are different here.
Is that the woman who took my daughter?
That is a fae.
Her head will be bashed in all the same as the other creature.
Tomas?
Other creature?
What?
What other creature?
Any creature. A pig? A deer?
Tomas? This is a woman who has been taking care of your daughter, and on top of that, she has been keeping the water of your village pure.
She stole my daughter.
However, your daughter is the one who chose to go with her. That is not stealing.
She's a child. She can't make decisions.
I don't disagree.
Says
Tomas.
every father ever.
Tomas, have things changed recently in the village?
No.
Nothing's become easier. The water hasn't seemed fresher.
I mean, I
haven't been here
guess
very long.
I guess there's a lot of water. I don't know. I
Village have
don't
a well?
handle the water.
Who handles the water?
Brennan. He hauls in the water every day for everybody. Makes several trips back and forth to the river. What does this have to do with my daughter and why she's in the water?
Speak to your daughter, but do not breach this circle.
Let your daughter tell you what has happened as she understands it, and try to keep an open mind.
Do you let him go?
If he seems savvy to the idea, then yes.
Roll sense motive for me.
Okay. Hooray!
He does loosen in your grip. It feels, it feels like he's defeated in some ways.
Yeah, I'll let him go then.
I am also not trusting him because it seems like what I would do.
What I just said feels like an accurate summation of his actions as he just stands there, his toes just barely not touching the water as he's leaning forward to be as close to Claire's image as he can be. And they start conversing back and forth, her telling him about what happened and everything that you all know at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Once they're done, he turns like, so you're going to go get this water that she wants?
That's a possibility.
What's the other possibility? We kill that creature and take my daughter back? Because that's the possibility I like more.
That is unfortunately not possible.
What is she, a god?
Close enough.
Bade,
Yep.
can you show us on the map where this would be?
Sure.
Because
I have a feeling I know.
Yeah.
I have a horrible feeling I know.
Are you talking about the world map?
yes,
Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
because the world map is no longer our background for the
Well, yeah, I
Roll 20.
usually keep another map there.
Are you asking about where we are now or the water that she wants?
water she wants.
Oh, she
Except- no,
very clearly wants the Great Fall water.
Yeah.
I just
It
wanna-
would be
super far to the north.
right here.
That's
That's a ways.
what I thought, but I wanted to make sure.
Yep.
Damn it.
She wants
Right.
the evil guy water.
Yep.
It is a bit of a hike.
Have others gone missing into your domain recently in this forest? Have others stumbled into the circle that were not welcome and were subsequently dealt with?
Oh, every few years someone comes by and Tabby plays his tricks, his pranks.
Are
It's
there
fine.
other circles like this within this forest?
I'm sure. But I
But
don't
not-
travel.
But not yours.
I don't travel.
Fair enough.
I've made my agreement to the deal. Do you agree?
That's not our choice to make.
Whose is it?
Her father's.
Let's let them finish their conversation.
Tomas is like looking between you all. He's like, so you won't get my daughter back. Take
No,
her
we-
away from this woman and bring her here to me.
We didn't say that. There are options, Tomas. I believe Claire can choose to leave, but we don't know the effect that will have on your village, and entities surrounding your village may certainly become more hostile as a result.
I don't care about this village if I can have my daughter back.
I understand that. I do. Are you willing to speak to the village because the repercussions of this may be you all have to move again, just like you had to at the Twin Lakes.
I'll tell everyone that they have to move. I'll tell them to get the hell out right now if I have to. If it means I have my daughter back, I'll kick them all out of their homes and burn them to the ground right now if I get my daughter back.
Is your daughter going to be willing to go with you?
Of course she will. She's my daughter.
Have you asked her that?
Why would I need to ask my daughter if she would want to come with me? She's
Because
my
she's-
daughter.
She is an individual capable of her own desires. She has made this sacrifice for the town of her own volition. Therefore, she can make the choice of how to move forward of her own volition. She may not be old in years, but she is wise in experience and knowledge.
She is 7 years old.
Tomas,
Is she your prisoner?
here in this moment, in this place, she has the power of choice.
This is a very difficult lesson for any parent to learn, Tomas, but children do not grow all at once. She is still your daughter and she is still a child, but in this way and for this task, she has become more. She has grown and she has made decisions. And those decisions have repercussions.
Speak to her as if you would an equal that has your respect and your love, and ask her for her choice.
If you make this choice without asking her how she feels, you will carry the repercussions of that choice. And it may affect how your daughter feels for you.
And in the process, you may doom her. There are strings upon strings upon strings attached to this situation that you can't know and understand. Speak to her as a loved one with your respect as an equal, and ask her her choice.
He kicks at the dirt a little bit before turning back to the water mirror. And can I talk to my daughter in private? He's speaking to the woman. And she flicks her hand, and the water mirror glides across the water over to him. And he walks around the pond to the far side away from you all.
I'm not going to follow him.
I'm
Nope.
not going to follow. But while they're talking, is the grasshopper still there?
Yeah, he's still playing his fiddle.
I hand him the small steel mirror.
Oh, now I can play the games with the cat.
I will keep my bargain with you. You have made it able so we could talk to her. I am keeping my bargain so that you were able to continue your own games.
Ooh, you are a good one. You play joke on me. You got me.
Well, is it a joke?
You tricked me into telling name.
I didn't tell you any name. What are you talking about?
I told you name.
What name?
Her name. He points to the woman in the water.
I wasn't there for that.
You were
Yep.
there for that. He remember
Yeah,
he covered his mouth and said, "Oh no."
Oh,
He is now specifically telling us that is in fact her name,
Yeah.
which he has not
Yeah.
done yet. But
that's fair.
Kip tries to get Alara's eye and just smiles and nods, like just pretend like you don't understand is what he's trying to convey. But he is grinning ear to ear.
I don't remember a name. Many names have. I've learned many names over my lifetime. I don't remember all of them.
Well, if you ever want to play a prank on someone real good, you can say my name and I'll help you play pranks.
Well, what's your name?
Come here.
I lean close.
He leans up to your ear and he whispers some words. You don't recognize it audibly as any language with any particular type of naming convention to it, but you feel like you know who this being is in front of you. You feel that energy of the prankster, that energy of good spirit and merriment blow through you and fill you with this energy back. You feel
Okay.
excited and energized by it in that moment.
Don't give that to Katie, you psychopath.
She played his game.
Perfect person to give
I
it to. Nothing
I
bad
s-
will happen.
I smile to him and I offer him a wink.
He winks back and he hops around.
I think we shall be fantastic playmates in the future.
Playing games, and he leaps off again. Tomas and Claire come back around. I don't
Can I
want
do
to hurt
something
my
before
daughter.
they come back?
Huh?
Can I do something before they come back?
Absolutely, you can.
Okay. Can I do a knowledge to try and figure out any of them? To try and figure out what might happen if we give her the water from the falls?
Knowledge nature. Anyone with knowledge nature, just feel free to roll it.
Well,
9 and a 7 and a 13.
That really isn't a good roll night, is it?
it really is not.
Fee, you don't know explicitly what will happen if the new water is given to her. Other than the idea of she's probably being honest in the fact that it will empower her. It will give her more strength than she has right now. You know that she is a nymph. She is bound to the waters of her creation. But unlike other nymphs, she's landlocked. She's not part of a riverway. This isn't a giant lake or a moving body of water. She is stilled. And her power is probably lesser than others of her kind. So, while you don't know all the ramifications of what would happen, you know it would make her stronger.
Hey, Wade, can you ping approximately where in the forest she is? We currently are.
Sure. Give me 1 second. Roughly right about here-ish.
Okay.
Thank you.
Roughly.
I have to say, if she is a relatively benevolent creature, wouldn't the empowerment of her influence be a good thing for the forest?
Her definition of good is drastically different than ours.
She's also not necessarily benevolent.
Well, that's my question. Is she or is she not?
She's a force of nature, as benevolent as nature can be. Does the wind blow our sails? Yes, but it can also tear down roofs and flatten forests.
She's a nymph. It's nymphs can be nymphs, if I remember correctly, are very rarely like explicitly malevolent, but I would not call them benevolent. They are chaotic.
Much like nature, they are wild, I assume.
Yes. And usually their personalities will match the type of water that they are tied to. But unlike most nymphs, she's stuck here because she is tied to this pond.
I was thinking maybe we see if we could sweeten the deal a bit, if this is something that she maybe desperately wants.
How do you
Like
want to
what?
sweeten the deal? She says from her rock.
Let's.
No, I mean, I know she's listening, but
Let's not.
May we hear from Thomas before we address you, miss?
You can do whatever you want. Come and go. You're not bound here.
I'll admit to being curious what you mean, but I can be patient.
After a moment, Tomas comes back around with Claire, or Claire's mirror, water mirror. I don't want Claire to be hurt. Claire doesn't want the village to suffer. But I don't want I don't want her to be forced to go back if she doesn't want to go back. The deal was if you bring her the water, Claire is allowed to travel freely back and forth, right?
Yes.
But
One day a month.
until she gets the water, it's 1 day a month.
Yeah.
1 day and 1 night.
One day and
Unless-
1 night a month until she gets the water, and then she's allowed to go back and forth as she wants.
I
Yes.
also believe that Claire has the right to choose now whether or not to stay.
Right, but she doesn't want the village to suffer.
I understand.
But what I'm saying is that if she's going to be allowed to go back and forth, I don't want her to be forced to go back and forth. That if she just never wants to go back in there, she doesn't have to.
But
And
she'll have the ability to choose.
And as it stands, at least right now, she cares more about the village than her own desires. But I think that decision should go both ways. If she doesn't want to come to the village, she should not be forced to.
I just want it to be her choice, I guess, is all I can say at this point.
And
Because you all clearly aren't going to take her back. And so
we
can't
do not have
take
the
her
ability
back.
to take her back.
Can you get this water?
it's a possibility.
It'll
Appreciate
take if we are able to get this water, it will be some time, but we will not forget the necessity to find this water. It won't be within a month or 2 months. It might be a while from now.
I don't know what I could possibly give you to do this.
I think we should speak with each other a moment.
He looks over his shoulder at the mirror and then walks away over to your group.
What's the girl's name again?
Claire.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
Which decision do you prefer? I know you've spoken to your father about this, but I need to hear you speak it. Do you wish to stay and for us to retrieve the water, or do you wish to come home with your father and perhaps not be able to return?
I don't want the village to suffer. I don't want Lily and them to get hurt, or Mr. Cat. I don't want them to be hurt.
Okay.
So if you can get the water, we don't have a lot of money like Dawes said.
Don't worry
but
about that, Claire. That is not your responsibility. I
I'll
hear
give you
what
everything that I have.
You owe me nothing. Don't concern yourself with that.
I will, however, punch Kip in the ribs.
I feel a sharp pain in your ribs, Kip.
Imnas, before we discuss this, can I try something?
I suppose. What do you need?
Miss, and he'll address the nymph.
She tilts her head over towards you. Yes, Flyboy.
May I suggest an alternative?
Negotiations are open.
You must be miserable. You're a creature that loves freedom, and you're stuck here in this body of water and not able to move and flow. What if we were able to connect you to the river and the lake? Would you consider that sufficient? You could come and go as you please. Your waters would be strengthened.
How would you accomplish such a feat?
Without getting too into detail, modern engineering has come a large way in terms of aqueducts. I can promise you it can be done, and it could be done far quicker than traveling for the waters.
Nothing unnatural.
I'm certain we could speak with some druids to move the land with respect and willingness.
Almost like you have a druid right here.
I will extend a mother's love and give you the 2 options. 1, you acquire the water from the falls and bring it to me. It must be a special water from the falls. You have the sight, Flyboy. You will know it when you see it. You bring that to me, the deal is served. Or, if you can dig a canal to reconnect my pond with the rivers, I will accept the deal also, without you having to recover the water from the falls.
Do I have your permission to depart your glaive for a half hour?
You all are free to come and go. You are not bound here.
He'll sketch a courtly bow, not make eye contact, and step back into the forest.
Okay?
Akko,
Hmm?
can I see your bracelet, please?
Am I supposed to be following with you?
Please.
Why?
Can I touch it?
Why?
Because I'm about to make a choice.
Is it the kind that's going to get us killed?
No.
Fine.
I'll touch the bracelet and try to will arcane energy into it and speak out loud, Warden McCullough, I need you urgently.
Oh, the hold cup
Yes.
that you have on? Akko? Is that the one that you're using, Kip?
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't he supposed to have one too?
No,
I'm
he's
not-
of the Imperium.
Ah, right.
So until he makes his choice, he doesn't have to wear one.
Oh, okay. I'm the only one stuck with one.
I was only told about this once. Let's hope it works. And I'll just try to activate it with arcane energy and speak McCullough's name.
Okay. Give me a knowledge arcana roll to see if you are capable of channeling energy into it first off.
Can I assist?
No, not in this particular feat you can't.
Natural 20.
Yep, so you are absolutely able to channel energy into it, but the feat that you're trying to accomplish is not accomplishable with this item.
Can I achieve the same goal?
You can't call out to the you can't call out to a specific person through this bracelet. It's not capable of doing that.
What can I do? Can I do anything through the bracelet to make contact with the hold?
You could cast necromancy.
Yeah, let's not do that.
But I don't want to be murdered by a warden before I can speak, so that's not going to happen.
As far as you're aware, that is the only way to call someone from the hold to get to you using the bracelet.
I think it might be better for us to be patient.
I mean, we can just go to the next town. Isn't there an obelisk there?
There's an obelisk in Badger Keep.
Yeah.
Why are you
that's the
trying to
next
go
town.
through the hold for this, though?
Because I'll agree to join the hold if they'll agree to form the connection between the river and that
Did you
pond.
hear when she said that it had to be done through all natural purposes?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think we want the hold to do this.
I think you are better off finding a grove.
If you have druids that are capable of moving the earth in that manner that aren't connected to the hold, I'm willing to hear it, but one way or another this choice needed to be made.
Most druids aren't connected to the hold. We're not arcane in nature.
There are some.
I said most.
We could also go through the academy, but they'll have a similar price tag.
Lady Faye,
Yes?
you're tied to the water of this pond, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What would happen if I took some of the water from this pond and brought it north?
You would
And
weaken
traded
me.
it? Okay. I was wondering what would happen
Well,
if I brought it to the fall.
If you tried
and
to
then
take it
traded
away, I
it.
would kill you.
That's fair. I'm wondering. I don't know these things. I'm asking to be educated.
You would hurt me gravely.
That's fair. I don't
My
intend
waters
to
are not
hurt
that
you.
strong to begin with.
I don't intend to hurt you. I was wondering what would happen if I brought it to the fall, put it there, and then brought some from the fall and brought it here.
I would die before you
Hypothetically.
returned anything here.
Well, then I'm not going to do that.
I believe your decision is made, however.
It seems so.
You
I
have-
have another question for you. When did your water start becoming corrupted or needing
Smashed.
to be
My water's never been corrupted.
not corrupted, but needing to be rejuvenated?
Oh, you mean diminished? When did I
Yes.
become landlocked? Oh, several years, I would suppose. Time is murky.
And so,
I used to be connected to the riverways.
but time and erosion changed that.
The forest grew.
Um,
One more question, and then I'm leaving.
okay. I'll let someone else ask it then.
But first, is an accord struck?
I agree to pursue these courses and attempt to achieve at least one of them.
If I feel that you have abandoned the quest, the accord will be broken.
What say the rest of you?
I'm okay with that.
I feel like we're
Thank you.
shortchanging ourselves at this point, but
I mean,
I think you're all insane.
is there more that you want?
I don't know. I don't know what sort of boon she could grant us.
Well, you said you think we're shortchanging ourselves. So
He's
I
saying
can do
there's
a number of things with stronger water, little dragon.
That's what I was asking.
I think you're all insane for agreeing to help her increase her power.
Perhaps. I think the village will benefit, and I hope that it is the right choice.
I agree. I think if the village benefits, then it's best for everyone.
I accept the accord. Your last question.
I have no more questions. Any
I've
of
got
you who
nothing
wish to
either.
use it may.
Do you know the location of other glades such as yours to the northeast where people have gone missing?
West.
Northwest, thank you.
No, I am cut off.
Thank you
And with
for your
that, her
hospitality.
body dissolves into water droplets and falls back into the pond. The mirror shatters like rain back into the pond.
I'm gonna leave a small dish of wine and give a courtly bow to the grasshopper. And then
He bows back, scoops up the wine, hops over to Alara's shoulder, and then hops back into the circle and disappears.
I wiggle my fingers at him. It's like, see you later.
Tomas just stands there looking down at the ground. I don't know what I can do to make this right.
I can't speak for the others, Tomas, but I require absolutely nothing from you but your friendship. And perhaps enough food and water to get us back to Badger Keep.
You can have anything in my home. Anything.
I mean, we have a potential solution here, right?
We do, too.
No, I mean, with what Tomas can do,
What do you mean?
he can work to try to connect the river with the glade.
That would be years of digging.
Years-
I'll dig a trench from here all the way to the river if I have to, but it's years and years.
I would say start from the river and move here, but if you do that, at least it's effort moving forward, and instead of it becoming stagnant while we go on our quest.
He would die before he reached the glade.
May I make an alternate suggestion?
Yeah.
When we contact
Don't speak its name.
naturalists, no,
Yes.
when we contact naturalists who are appropriately skilled to the endeavor you're speaking of, Kip, I would simply suggest, Tomas, that you offer them any and every assistance you can in their endeavor and work together to make this project occur.
If anyone's willing to help me do this, I will do anything I can. I'll give
you
them
can-
whatever I can, but I don't know why anyone would help me other than kindness of their heart, and that leaves a debt on my shoulder that I can never repay.
You gave us a warm place to sleep and food in our bellies. Again, speaking for myself, that's enough for me.
You're the smith of your village. Speak with them, and you continue to invest in their future. They will continue to invest in yours. Work together.
We're going to have a very long talk, all of us, later.
Well, I guess we'll go back and I don't know what else to say or do. As he just starts kind of slowly meandering back towards the village.
Trust in your daughter and be patient. I think that's all you can do.
I agree. And he exits the glade.
Start walking back to town.
All right. The hike back is fairly simple. No ambush spiders or anything are waiting for you along the way. And you make it back into the village. You see Tomas working at the forge as you all enter back in. People moving around doing their daily chores and work.
Well, now that we've lost sufficient time, we need to go find a ranger, and we need to get back to Badger Keep so we can get back on the road.
That seems wise.
Yep.
Well, with that, that's actually where we're going to call it for a night, everyone. Congratulations on hitting level 3.
Yay!
Striking a deal with a nymph to save a child. Lot of talking this evening, but a lot of good things I think are happening. So congratulations, everyone.
Thank you.
Yay, 4 skill points.
Huzzah.
Right.
We can go ahead and roll hit points right now, actually, because you got. So here's how hit points work in my game, okay, guys? So you can roll your hit points. If you don't like what you roll, I can roll a second time for you, but you have to keep whatever I roll. So if you roll,
Sounds good
if you
to
have
me.
a die 8 and you roll a 3 and you're like, Wade, roll it again, and I roll a 1, you got a 1.
Seems legit.
So
love me
let's
some
just do
gambling.
this in order. John, how about you go first?
Let's see. I'm a sorcerer, so I roll a d4, right?
Yep, D4. You are made of the hit points. They're sweltering off of you.
I mean, I have a lot more hit points than normal sorcerer would, but still.
That's pretty good.
That's a good.
I
roll.
will take a 3.
All right, Katie, how about you? You roll a D10.
Sure. Wade, will you roll for me?
No.
This is a good time to have you roll. I agree. All right.
Wait, can we use a fate die on this?
10. No, you cannot use a fate die on it.
To be fair, Mr. Fay, you did say any roll.
There you go. You get an 8.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right. Joel, you go next.
Sword Sage is a D8. 5 ain't bad.
Don't you have a +2 you can use in any roll?
I was going to ask about that, but I assume
Yeah,
this doesn't
do it.
count.
Unfortunately, I'm also going to say again, this
Yeah.
doesn't particularly count for that.
I'll keep the 5.
All right.
5's
Coda.
good.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Max hit points.
God damn.
All right. Wonder.
Look at me. I'm the tank now. It's
Ain't
not too
bad.
bad. I'll take
Yeah.
that.
Above average. All right. Perfect, everyone. Well, to our viewers tonight, thank you all for tuning in for our third session of Realms of Faroff. We'll be back again next week on Thursday. Check out the Horde of the Dragon Queen on Tuesday next week at 5:30 p.m. Central. Yeah, roll on, everyone. Have a good night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.